is Greta Smith, and I own the flower cellar in Wayne. And so I am a florist, but I have a lot more on my plate than just a regular designer because I own the business. So I have to do the buying and HR, dealing with all my employees, and ordering, dealing with all the customers. I pretty much do everything. My girls help me out a lot, but when you own a small business, you do a little bit of everything. A typical day is very hard to describe because it changes every day, which is fun, but it can also be very stressful. In our particular business, you have no idea when a funeral might pop up that you have to have flowers for and have the time to design them for the family and for all the other friends and loved ones that want to send something. Weddings we can usually plan for. There's been a couple last minute things where they just want a little something, they run up to the courthouse or whatever, and you never know when there's going to be a birthday or anniversary. Men are especially notorious for not ordering ahead of time, so it just makes our days different and exciting, and they can change from the morning to the afternoon, and so you just never know. So it's a lot of thinking on your feet and rush. And other days you have time to catch up on things you didn't do on those days when you rushed and your day changed a whole bunch. So a typical day is just not typical. So that really is a big part of it is being able to adjust your plans and get everything done on time. So I did not go through any formal training. I do have my undergraduate degree in English, so that helps me spell the cards right, I guess. I don't know. But you can go to school for, well, like for me, business school would be helpful with all of the other parts of my job. But you can go to design school. I don't know of any that are around here. There are quite a few actually online courses that you can take, and I'm planning on taking some, but I don't know when. But my guess is that there are some things that I have learned by watching other florists and doing it because I have to. There are probably better ways to do some of the ways or some of the things that I do. So I would like to further my education and take some classes, and I might learn some stuff, and it might be that I'm doing it right, and it might be that I need to change what I'm doing. But business school would help with this by owning it. If you're just going to work at a flower shop, you can do that. The place where I get my flowers, my wholesaler, they do offer small classes throughout the year, and they bring in other designers to teach us things about that. So I have the option to do that, and that's just in Sioux Falls, so that's not super far away, but it's not like going to school. It's just like a little continuing education class every once in a while. So
do those classes teach you new trades, new tricks, new things?
Sometimes it's usually
design?
just new tricks, and being a florist, you kind of have to keep up with the fads and the styles of everything. Like with prom, you guys don't get the same dresses that your mothers got when they were in school, so colors have changed, styles have changed, and so that's something that we need to know, like if gold is the color, or silver, or rose gold. Rose gold was pretty big a couple of years ago, so I made sure I had some rose gold ribbon and different accessories to go in there. So we just kind of learned some new trends and fads and stuff with some of that, and sometimes a different new product that we can use, or just a different way of doing something. I would say some characteristics and some skills that you might want to have. You definitely need to be able to talk to people. Just greeting people when they come in the store, finding out if you can help them with something, what they're looking for, whether it's flowers or a plant, gifts, And sometimes it's for a happy occasion, like a wedding or somebody's birthday. And sometimes it's for a funeral or get well soon, something like that. So just being able to kind of read someone's mood, and being able to help them. As a florist, you're really a part of the big things in people's lives, like weddings and funerals. I mean, they're big emotional events, and so just being able to console them a little bit and help them make a big decision with a funeral, or make sure that they're not going to regret some ugly flowers in their wedding pictures someday. So but yeah, just being able to talk with people, even if it's small talk about the weather. I mean, Nebraska, we always have something to talk about. But yeah, it's kind of random how your day can go. Sometimes it's one right after the other, so it's a little bit of a roller coaster. So just dealing with that and being able to help everybody that comes in. So it's really fun for the most part. As an owner, it's a little bit more stressful just because everything is on you and having to know what flowers to buy. My wholesaler's 2 hours away, which isn't super far, and I can get things most days. And quite honestly, I was not very good at guessing this week, so I've ordered 4 different times, and I usually only order 1 time. So it's been kind of a crazy week, but it is fun, and we get to do fun things. I get to buy fun things for other people to come and make somebody's day with that fun gift or an arrangement of flowers. And I like that it's different every day, but that's my personality. I could not be an accountant and punch in numbers and do math all day. That would be my worst nightmare. But we do get to be a part of people's big things. I've gotten friends of mine have had big events that were kind of surprises, and I got to know about them first because I was making the flower arrangements for it. And so there's fun little things like that make it fun too. Because of the randomness in every day, I don't get to make plans very far in advance, and it never fails. If I do, then something comes up. It is usually a funeral, and I've had to cancel all kinds of plans because something like that came up. And I owning a small business and being quite new, I've only done it for 2.5 years. You can't really say no to orders and taking care of things. Like you don't want to be that girl. Well, she's not going to do it. Well, yes, I will do it. So that's one of them. And our deadlines for some of that is stressful too. But and just not always knowing what's coming up every day is kind of hard, which is why I had to order 4 times this week, because I thought that I was prepared, but we've sold a lot of stuff, which is great, and that makes me have to work a lot, which is okay. I mean, it's good to be busy. It just cuts out of my personal life a little bit, and I just had to order more, so I had to pay a little bit more money to get it here 4 different times, but that's what you do. So absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm open from 9 to 6, but there are many nights where I'm here late or I'm coming early in the morning. Like tomorrow I'll be here early because my flowers are being shipped overnight, and it's going to be a little chilly, so I need to make sure I get them in the building and in buckets of water so I can start making stuff, because I have to have them done tomorrow afternoon for the funeral we're working for. So Labor Day weekend, I labored all weekend here doing things, so I didn't get those days off but I also do own the place and I can close when I want. And so this Saturday I was closed and I goofed off for a little bit because I could. Doesn't always work like that, but it can. So I take advantage of it when I can. But no, you never know when you could find me here at midnight. For me, I don't really have much advancement except for maybe being able to hire more people so that I could take more time off. That would be about that would be like my raise, my advancement is to not have to be here all the time, to have people that can do what I do and be able to make enough to pay them so that I could take some time off. I could also, there are many around the country, when I talked about going to get that continuing education at my wholesaler, those are other florists who own businesses who come and share their designs. And that's not necessarily a raise or anything. They might get paid to do it, I would assume. I don't know. But to be one of those people that people want to learn from and aspire to be like would be an advancement opportunity, I would say, to get your name out there so that, you are respected in that community and be able to go and travel and do something. Sioux Falls isn't far for me to travel, but some of those people come from all over the country to teach us things. So to go and be able to teach other florists what you do would be really cool. So as an owner of that, that would be something that I could aspire to. As one of my employees, usually start kind of washing buckets and helping customers and cutting flowers, and you don't just start putting flowers in a vase. So being able to learn and have more responsibility and get an actual raise in pay and everything, and be able to maybe work full-time eventually. Not that anybody is going to school to be a florist at Wayne State, because they just don't offer that, but it is something that, if you start working here early and you're here enough and learn, then you can get more hours and get a raise and do more of the fun things, not just the bucket washing, and deliveries. I know a lot of schools have FFA, and some of the events that they have are floral design. So if that's something that you're going to participate in at state or whatever, then actually talking to your local florist for some tips and some help, learning from them. That would be a good step in the right direction to see if you even like it at all. And also just getting a part-time job, even if it is just cleaning up and washing buckets and helping process flowers when they come in from the wholesaler. You can learn a lot about how to care for all the flowers, because they're not all the same. There's some flowers you don't put in the cooler because they're tropical, and there's some that if you leave them outside of the cooler for a little bit, they'll open up a little bit more, or there's some that can't be in this bucket with this bucket or with these flowers. You just learn some of those things, and so any of that can definitely be a leg up or an advantage. Even just learning the names of the flowers is very helpful too, just because that helps you know what you're talking about, and if and when you do go to school, you'll just have that little extra bit that you don't have to study because you already know it. You can pay attention and see how things are done, and just get a good idea of what you're getting into, because sometimes you don't. There's a lot of people that say, oh, I would love to play with flowers all day. I don't play with flowers all day. That is not what I get to do, because there's a lot of things that go into it. So just knowing what you're getting into by getting a part-time job and actually doing it with FFA or something will teach you a lot. I really think that if you are interested in it, just explore it a little bit. Even watch YouTube videos and see what people are doing. See if that's something that you think you could make. Go to the store and buy some flowers. Take them home. Try it out. Just sometimes you just got to jump in and do it. You can learn a lot with trial and error. After you watch some videos or talk to a florist and see how to do some stuff. But sometimes you never know until you try. So try it out. If you don't like it, move on to something else. And if you have interest in art at all, that'll help, like with colors, balance, all of those design elements that will help you too. So that's a good place to start with studying in high school too. So if you do have any questions or anything that you wonder about, maybe something I didn't answer or didn't answer very well because I was rambling or something, don't hesitate to give me a call or message me on Facebook. Our store has a Facebook page, but I'd be happy to help with any questions that you have. And if you live close enough, maybe you can come and even just play with flowers for an afternoon. But I'd be happy to help. There aren't a lot of florists anymore. There's a lot of businesses that have closed, and eventually we'll need more. So, but yeah, just reach out if you have any questions.